Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The men and women we recognize tonight will join some very elite company indeed. That of presidents, vice presidents, members of Congress, academics, pilots, several Miss Americas, advisors, diplomats, high court justices, athletes from all sports, and of course, the one and only Elvis. Each year since the 1930s, JCs have gathered to honor 10 of their fellow young people in and outside the organization who exemplify the best qualities available nationwide. Welcome to the 77th anniversary celebration of the year's 10 outstanding young Americans. This evening's festivities presented by the United States Junior Chamber.
Our next honoree, Dr. Michael Feilmeier. He's made it his life work to ensure that everyone has the opportunity to see the world around them.
Dr. Michael Feilmeier has made it his life's pursuit to see that no one lives needlessly in darkness. Dr. Feilmeier was first introduced to humanitarian care as a medical student. The most pivotal moment, he says, was a month-long trip to Nepal, where he witnessed surgeons successfully delivering world-class sight-restoring cataract surgery to hundreds of patients in remote villages with a 5-minute, $25 procedure. While completing his training at America's top-ranked ophthalmology residency program, the Bascom Palmer Eye Institute, he organized and led his first service trip to Haiti. As his passion for service grew, Michael partnered with the Moran Eye Center at the University of Utah to develop a first-of-its-kind fellowship in the prevention of global blindness. During his one-year fellowship, Dr. Feilmeier spent 6 months working in 5 countries, teaching and performing hundreds of surgeries, operating on patients who had walked 3 days to reach him, operating on kitchen tables, operating by flashlight occasionally. Dr. Feilmeier amassed the training and resources needed to continue his work back home in Nebraska. Michael and his wife Jessica founded the Division of Global Blindness Prevention and Community Outreach in 2011 at the University of Nebraska Med Center. Under his direction, the divisions raised over $500,000 in donated cash, equipment, and consumables, and performed over 1,500 vision-saving operations on patients in Nepal, Ethiopia, Ghana, Peru, and Haiti. Michael and Jessica are employed by the university, but they give all their pay back to fulfill their commitment that 100% of every dollar raised will be used to fund those vital surgeries. Dr. Feilmeier, who has already this year done outreach in Haiti and Nepal, says his greatest accomplishment is not the ability to restore sight, but the ability to inspire and engage young professionals in the same work that he feels so passionate about. Michael lives in Omaha with his wife Jessica and their children Jacob and Nicholas. Please welcome another of this year's outstanding young Americans, Dr. Michael R. Feilmeier.
Wow, thank you so very much. It is a huge honor, of course, to be here, and I share that sentiment with all of the other award recipients. I would like to start by painting a picture for you. 10 years ago, I was in my last year of medical school, a 26-year-old naive Nebraskan, standing in a remote village at 9,000 feet in the foothills of the Himalaya. I was surrounded by a few hundred local villagers with patches taped over their eyes. It was the day after surgery, and for those who trekked days to reach the surgical camp, over rough terrain they could barely navigate, and sometimes even carried on the backs of their children, it was the moment they'd find out if their decision to have cataract surgery in makeshift ORs in the hands of surgeons they'd never met before was indeed a good one. It was early in the morning and the sun was just beginning to peek over the mountains. Everyone was quiet, still, and seemingly uncertain about what the next moments would yield. Then the patches were carefully peeled away. Each patient blinked, gazed down at their hands, and then up to the sky. And as recognition set in, smiles followed by laughter, tears of joy, and ultimately dancing, singing, and celebratory hugs rippled through the crowd of patients whose sight had just been restored. Loved ones were embraced and seen for the first time in many years. Grandparents met the faces of grandchildren they'd never known before. Realizing the heavy burden of blindness had just been lifted, families rejoiced in the joy and relief that their prayers had been answered. These patients, who were empty shells of themselves just moments before, literally were coming to life in front of my eyes. I realized in that moment that I had found my calling, and I knew I'd spend my life and my career pursuing the cure of blindness. In choosing this path, I never dreamed I would find myself here receiving this incredible award tonight. In the midst of my fellow recipients, and knowing all of those that have come before us, it's very humbling. In fact, tonight more than ever, I feel like an ordinary man receiving an extraordinary honor. I'd like to thank, of course, the United States JC's organization, and especially the Omaha, Nebraska delegation, and Jennifer Anderson for nominating me for this award, and for believing enough in our work, our commitment, and our cause to do so. This is an award I know I wouldn't be receiving without the unwavering support and sacrifices from my wife, Jessica, who joins me tonight. This work is our work, and it wouldn't be possible without you. You are my secret weapon, the engine behind all we set out to accomplish, and you undoubtedly deserve to be up here tonight as much as I do. Next, I want to recognize my parents, Judy and Keith. They are flawless examples of kindness and selflessness. They introduced me to volunteerism and the humanitarian spirit, and lighting that flame was by far the greatest gift they could have ever given me. To my partners in curing blindness, specifically Drs. Jeff Taven and Matt Oliva, I will be forever indebted to them for giving me every opportunity I sought from them and guiding me carefully along the way. Their commitment to this cause will inspire me forever. From them, I've come to realize that even more powerful than giving the gift of sight back to someone is giving the gift of mentorship. Teaching people to use their passion and knowledge for others' betterment, inspiring them to advocate tirelessly to improve society's lot, no matter if done so locally or abroad, and showing them how to care sincerely about those they encounter can only lead to positive outcomes for everyone involved. And tonight, as I receive this honor, it's very important to me that you all know who the true heroes are in the fight against blindness. Dr. DeWitt, who is the only ophthalmologist in Southwest Ethiopia and carries on his shoulders the responsibility of caring for some 6 million Eastern Africans without the resources or skills he needs to do so. Dr. Rita Gurung, an incredible corneal surgeon in Kathmandu, Nepal, who works grueling hours performing thousands of eye surgeries per year and dedicates her life to training the next generation of eye care providers for a small percentage of what her private practice peers make. Dr. Sandeep Ruiz, a man who, against all odds in his life, has pioneered an eye care delivery system that has the potential to eliminate needless blindness throughout the world. And there are countless others. I accept this award tonight in their honor. They are the true heroes in the fight against global blindness. Going forward, I pledge that we will continue our tireless fight, and that our work to date represents merely a fraction of what we will accomplish in our lifetimes, God willing. For some 36 million people are currently living blind in both eyes in the developing world, and over 50% of them, half of them, can be cured with a 5-minute, $25 cataract surgery. I look forward to the role my team, my colleagues, and those I am fortunate enough to train and mentor will play in seeing that no one lives needlessly in darkness. Thank you for your confidence in giving me this award, and thank you for welcoming me into your family. Thank you.
Awesome. All those numbers staggering. 36 million people who need sight, and half of them can have it. Thank you so much, Doctor. We really appreciate the work and applaud what you're doing.